Welcome back, everyone, to the Athlete's Mind podcast. Really excited for this one, keeping the ball moving with the footy episodes. We just came off an interview with Lewis Jetta, and today we are joined by Will York from the Peel Thunder. Thank you so much for joining us, Will. How are you today?
Yeah, good. No, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No worries. Now, we like to start our interviews very similar for everyone that we have on here with the same question, just to get a bit of a backstory for where your footy journey started. So for you, was it at a young age or was it later on?
So obviously, probably when I was about 6 years old, I just love footy. So, started my junior career at HPL in the Oz kick, and then, just went up through the juniors and to the Colts and, up to Peel. So, yeah.
Were there any other sports you played growing up? Or was it just footy?
I was into my basketball. I did play a bit of state basketball in under 12s for the SAC country, and then the SPP in under 16. So, bit of basketball background as well. Yeah,
and was that in the Wobble? You played a bit of basketball as well?
Yeah, I played in the Wobble for Slammers, but we weren't too good. But I did a couple of state trials and was lucky enough to make the state team for that. So.
Yeah, nice. Was there a particular point where you were like, I prefer footy, or did you find that hard to pick between basketball and footy?
Obviously, I obviously love footy a lot more better, but a couple of years ago I had to choose between basketball and footy because they just kind of ran into each other, where I'd be playing footy on the Saturday and then going up to Perth on the Sunday, play basketball. So footy kind of just took over from there.
Yeah, a lot of athletes we've had on here have kind of talked about similar things, with basketball being a big one and having to choose. Were there any like premierships you had early on, whether that's basketball or footy? I know some people go, without even getting a premiership in the juniors. Any like cool memories you remember?
Obviously year 10 grand final. So with our HBL juniors team, we always had two teams growing up. So and in year 10, we finally became one team, which was like the best thing. So we had a pretty stacked team, and that was our first year we actually joined together, and we won the premiership by 1 point.
Oh, jeez.
That was a very good memory of mine, and I'll cherish that forever.
Yeah, nice. And something I like asking as well is, are there any players in the AFL that you kind of looked up to, or even modelled your game off, that was a bit of a role model to you?
Well, when I was younger, definitely Jamie Elliott, and a bit of Dylan Moore now, just because I'm a bit in midfield and mostly half forward, and I try to model my game off, probably Dylan Moore at the moment. I love Jamie Elliott, because I'm a Collingwood fan actually, so obviously Nick Dacos, I love him.
Of course.
So Dylan Moore would probably be one that I really look up to and model my game off.
Yeah, are you Collingwood supporter because like your parents, or did you pick that?
So my dad's family's actually from Merbeen in Victoria. So their local team was Merbeen Magpies. Ever since then I've just been Collingwood. So
yeah, fair enough. I think similar with most people kind of supporting the team that they're kind of born into. I guess like for me, I'm a West Coast fan, and that's because of my dad, solely because of him. Otherwise, I don't know who I'd be going for. I guess, was there a point where you actually decided like, hey, I can actually take footy to a high level here? Or was it always just like a bit of fun for you, go with the flow? Or was there a point, and if so, at like what age did you actually realize like, hey, I can actually like take footy to the next level?
Footy's, I've always, like, ever since I was a kid, I've dreamed about getting drafted. So, I would go down the park, running, kicking the footy, just all the time. I loved it, and like, I'm massive on mindset. Like, I want to be doing like extras, like get the extras in, and hopefully it works out. But like, I remember after my futures game, like games I'd play like bad in, as soon as I'd get home, I would go down the oval, because it'd be like 2-minute drive, 5-minute walk. So I'd go down and just kick the footy and just like focus on like things I could have done better in the game. But I've always dreamt about getting drafted. So
I like that. So whenever you kind of dealt with like a loss, or you feel like you didn't perform as well, you just straight to the park? working on it?
Yeah. No, I'd go running the next day, or go down straight after my game. I'd go kick the footy and do set shots. If I missed like one or two, if I wasn't happy, then I'd go go down the park.
No, that's good, man. Yeah, well, we'll talk a little bit about your accomplishments, especially this year. So you played league in the preseason, and then getting like an initial feel for league in the preseason, I guess. Did you find that there was a big difference compared to Colts, and how did you kind of find it, like that jump into league?
Obviously, there's a massive jump between Colts and league. I feel like, the workload, just training workload, was a lot harder, which I adapted to. I felt pretty good. I did have after the Christmas break, I worked a bit too much and overloaded, and I hurt my groin. So, coming back after the Christmas break, I just managed it a bit and modify my trainings. But the professionalism, I feel like within the league side, and like jumping up from Colts to league was massive. Like just doing like team meetings and stuff before every training, and just league's been so good.
Even with tied in with the Freo boys, like, training and even playing with some of those, AFL level guys, like how has that kind of helped you around the club?
It's been awesome. So we've like done a couple of trainings. We did like a hill run and stuff with them, and that was a good, like, that
pretty
was
tough.
Good. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah. Just like it didn't feel real, like just running with like alongside like Caleb Sarong and stuff. And all that. But obviously playing with a couple of the Freo boys now, just like it's been really good for me. I feel like I try to learn a little bit off them in the games. I don't necessarily ask them, but I just look at their little things, like even pre-game, like how they go about their routine, and like if it changes every week or whatever, but just like their running patterns as well, especially like Erasmus and Will Brodie, playing alongside with them in the midfield, and obviously again playing with Nat Fyfe as well. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. It wouldn't feel real, like you said. Now, you debuted round one league. Talk to me a bit about the feeling of actually, one, getting caught up, but two, actually playing your first league games. It's a big accomplishment, especially at your age, playing that level of footy. Talk to me a little bit about that. It was pretty cool. I thought I'd like be a sniff maybe, but you never know until like you actually get told. So it was a really cool thing, and it was good to go out against Claremont, but I was pretty nervous before that game, obviously. So had a bit of family and friends come and watch, and it was a really good experience. Yeah, well, you've had like very consistent performances in league, which is really good to see. And talking a little bit about your position, you play midfield and a bit of half forward as well. I know like it'd probably be a good mix, but in your opinion, what position is your favourite to you? I don't know. Like, it depends really. Yeah. Like I love playing both positions, but midfield you're more around the contest and around the ball, which I feel like I can be good in that way, but also a half forward, like if I'm like I can be my player out the back and get up and use my endurance and use my speed back. So it'd probably maybe midfield. Probably be midfield in and around the contest, but it is a good mix, like going from those two positions, I feel like. Now you were recently selected for the State 18 squad, and obviously every footy player dreams of that, and I imagine that the feeling of getting that call up must have been quite surreal. Was that something that you kind of like felt could be realistic at the start of the year, and were you like quite like, oh man, like I made the state, like must be a pretty cool feeling? Obviously. So I didn't make the summer squad in the like this year. So as soon as I got a call from Jonesy, I was pretty upset, just because I was co-captain with for the 16s and all that sort of stuff. But that was a good like point where I thought like I really need to like focus on like my my weaknesses and throughout the preseason. So I think that was the best thing for me. Like
I remember getting the call and then going straight to my coach's house, and then I ran 20 Ks to his house, and then as soon as I got to his house, I just set out like a schedule for the preseason where I can do like different sessions. One being skill session, so I can focus on my kicking craft, and like watching like huddle on like structures and on my forward craft as well, which I thought was the best thing for me. And then obviously when I got the email from the state team, I was pretty stoked because I worked so hard to get to that point, and it just felt really good.
Well, you mentioned you ran 20 Ks to your coach's house. Was that like straight after you found out? Yeah,
so I was actually at work when Jonesy called me about the summer that I didn't make the summer squad, and like I remember at work I was pretty upset. But as soon as I finished work, I ran from my house and ran a massive loop to his house, which is like about 20 Ks, and it was about at 8:30 at night. So
oh my gosh, jeez.
Yeah, so that's the only way I kind of just I don't know how to explain it, but
kind of in the moment.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. Like if something's like, if I'm feeling upset about something, I just go run and just focus on like my footy and stuff.
Yeah, no, fair enough. It's a good way to kind of deal with things. Now, what has training actually been like with the state boys? You know, top level coaches, top level talent in WA. Has that helped you kind of progress and learn your game?
Definitely. We have some really good coaches at the in the 18s, and I haven't actually been training too much because I've been off legs with my foot injury, but I'm back on Saturday, so it'll be good. But having like Clarkie as our forward coach, Zach Clark, he's been awesome, and obviously he's played AFL, so I try to take as much knowledge and all that from him. But with Webby and all that, like getting some clips and stuff on Huddle that I've been watching, and they've been awesome.
Yeah, nice. Well, going back to Peel, I wanted to talk a little bit about the team and the performance at the moment. League off to a little bit of a rocky start compared to last year, finishing second. What do you guys think you guys can do to improve, talking about league?
I think it's just I don't know. I haven't been there for a while now, but probably just our connection. I feel like there's a few of us young boys coming up because a few of us left last year from that premiership side. So I think just that connection piece and trusting our teammates and stuff to get the job done. But I think there's obviously a lot to improve on, but I feel like we can be good in the back half of the year.
Yeah, it sometimes takes a while, especially when there's young guys coming through. It's a little bit like a rebuild, but I'm sure you guys will be back up there. Now, going on to a little bit of Colts as well, still yet to get a win. Is it hard to kind of stay positive around the team? I know you're kind of all over the place at the moment with state training with the league guys, but what's kind of the energy around with the Colts boys at the moment?
Definitely. We ended up getting a new coach. There was I don't know what happened there, but we got a new coach, and when I came down for a couple of trainings, the intensity's definitely lifted, and I feel like we got some good talent on our list, but we're just so young. Like we're going with that stage where we're a bit of a rebuild stage. So we're just so young at the moment, but no, there's definitely potential. I feel like we were close in the West Perth game. Just that last quarter we missed out on, but we'll focus hard on it, and we'll be better in the back half of the season. I
think you guys got Subi this Saturday, I think.
Or I think so.
Yeah, so never know, could get the first win there. I think Subi are kind of towards the bottom of the table in league and Colts, so that'll be good. Now, something that I always like asking our athletes on here is a little bit about your workout routine. So talk to me a little bit about your routine from Monday through to Sunday. You know, I know at the moment it's probably a little bit, like I mentioned before, all over the place, but in terms of your training schedule, what does it kind of look like at the moment?
Obviously Monday, before work I'll probably go down, wake up, do a bit of stretching and yoga and stuff, and then Monday we have one of our state sessions where we just do some gym, and then a bit of watching some like review or preview of stuff on structures and stoppage, like structures and all that sort of stuff. And then Tuesday, we have state training from about 5 to 7:30, and then Wednesday I like to get up around 5 and go to the gym and probably go do a bit of recovery after the gym at the beach, just before work. And then Wednesday, I got these compression pants as well.
Yep.
So I use them in the Arvo and just use Wednesday kind of just chill out a bit. And then Thursday, obviously another state training session, and then Friday, if I'm playing a game on Saturday, I obviously go through my routine on the Friday, which I like to do a bit of like ice bath before my game, and just do a bit of like mobility type stuff. And then if we're playing games Saturday, I'll prep for my game, and then Sunday, just go to the beach, focus on my recovery, but use that day to like really reset.
Yeah, it seems like you take recovery very seriously, and you know, fair enough. A lot of footy players do. You know, do you think recovery is a very important thing, especially as a footballer? Yeah,
no, definitely. I've definitely learnt over like my footy journey at the moment that recovery is a massive thing. And I've tried to implement it like into my game and work it out with my weekly routine. But obviously, definitely, it's massive.
And talking a little bit about on game day, I know you mentioned it a little bit before that you kind of were looking at like what Sarong and some of those guys do in terms of like their routine. But actually speaking on game day, do you have a certain like routine that you like to go through? Are you very like superstitious when it comes to like, you know, certain socks you wear or anything? I know there's some players that are, but talk to me a little bit about your game day routine.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like from the Friday, I eat the same food like every single Friday and Saturday morning. So food's definitely a massive thing for me. And then like obviously I make sure I get an ice bath in just because I feel fresh after it. So make sure I try to do that before every game. But then like on game day, it'd probably just be like wake up, have the same breakfast, which is like avocado, eggs, sourdough. So
nice.
And then in between that, I'll drink like one of those Gatorade Activate things, and on my way to the game, I'll have sushi no matter what.
Has to be sushi?
Yeah, has to be sushi. Don't get anything else. But and then like right before a game, it would be probably a bit of stretching, mobility, like warm up. And then just some touch work and all that, just normal stuff. And
do you kind of like to I guess like chuck headphones on, be in your own zone, or do you like to get around the boys? Like I think there's two different types of people when it comes to that. What do you kind of like?
I kind of like I like to get around just because like I feel like if I'm got headphones on really locked in, I feel you kind of get a bit nervous at times, like especially for me moving up to the league. So if I'm like involved with as much as with the players, it helps me just not take my mind off the game, but just get me like
relax.
Yeah, relax kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, talking a little bit about, you know, you just mentioned before your routine throughout a week, and it's very like, you know, rigorous in terms of how much you're training and quite hard on the body, but actually talking about on the mind, you know, are there ever times where you've actually felt a little bit mentally burnt out from training? And if so, do you do anything to kind of overcome and manage being overwhelmed when you are training so much?
Obviously like being a bit far away from trainings and stuff at the moment, it does get mentally exhausting, like especially driving all the way up and then all the way back down, and you're not having dinner till about 10 at night and then going to sleep like as soon as you can, which is like 10:30 probably. So sometimes I do feel a bit mentally exhausted, but I've started to try to do some sports psych just to help me in that way. If it's at the moment like where I work with my midfield coach, Wari, he's been massive like for giving me days off or letting me start later if I'm feeling exhausted, which is definitely been really good for me.
Yeah, definitely helps when you have, I guess, like, you know, someone you work with that actually understands like what you're doing outside of work. And are there any like activities or outlets you have to help? I know like some players, you know, might play a bit of like local basketball or even just hang out, as simple as hanging out with mates. Is there anything that you kind of do to take your mind off footy?
yeah, just probably just hang out with mates. I feel like there's a few boys of mine up at uni at the moment, and yeah, no, I try to come see them a bit, but if it's not that, then I'll go back home and do a bit of surfing. I'm quite into my surfing, so yeah, that really makes me feel refreshed and takes my mind off footy.
Yeah, no, that'll definitely take your mind off it, I can imagine. Doing some surfing, that's cool. Now, throughout this is a bit of a hard question, but just try, see if you can narrow it down to one person. So throughout your journey, who has been, I guess, the biggest influence in footy, whether that's a coach, a player, or even a family member? You can name a few people, but who kind of jumps to your mind?
Well,
it is tough.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot. I'd probably say my dad's been massive. Always telling me what I could have done better, and being harsh on me, which has been the best thing for me.
Bit of tough love.
Yeah, no, he's been really good. There's so many. Probably Warry O'Brien, he's who I work with. So he's been really good. Like, as soon as I moved to manager, he's had me over for dinner like once a week, and he's been massive. And especially with footy, he's like, he knows a fair bit because he's played around like 230 Waffle League games. So he's been massive for me. And then obviously, Reedy, our league coach, and who I live with, Sam Skinner at the moment. They've been massive, but sorry, there's so many. But,
I know. Sorry to put you on the spot, mate. It is a bit of a hard
Zach
question.
Piper as well. He's been massive for me as well. Like, he's been massive. So.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. Now just talking a little bit about your future goals. What is your focus? What goals have you set for the coming weeks, coming months? I know you don't want to look too much into the future, but anything that you kind of like, this would be good to kind of get to in the next couple of weeks or months.
Yeah, no, definitely. Probably a short-term goal for mine would be, just to play a state game. I feel like, if I can play that, then it could, definitely benefit me in the future. But obviously after the state stuff finishes, just go back to league and play really consistent but good footy as well. I feel like that'd be one of my main goals. And
how much would it mean to you to get drafted?
Oh yeah, it'd mean the world to me. I would do anything to get drafted. So that would be a long-term goal, but obviously you got to set short goals first to be able to reach that long-term.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, that wraps up an episode. Will, thank you so much for joining us today. Really, really appreciate it, and all the best for your future in footy.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Now, everyone listening, this will be on our main platform, YouTube, and also all podcast platforms, our main one being Spotify. Make sure you follow us on the socials, and Chuck Will follow. Keep an eye out on his journey. Big things coming. Cheers, everyone. Catch you in the next episode of The Athlete's Mind. Thank you.